Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I'm from my blog is qbsquest.com. Today is such a cold day. I can't believe it's the end of March, and now we're dipping back below freezing again. I don't know how cold it is where you're at, but this morning I was wearing my long down coat as we walked. It was just very, very cold. So I have my little space heater on right now. That's keeping my toes warm. So if you hear humming in the background, that's what that is. Good morning to everyone who's joined me. Today is Casing Tuesday, and that's when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. And there's a group of us who do that. And you can join us over on our Facebook group. You can find the link in the description of the video below. And there's several of us that do this challenge every single week. And it's really kind of a great exercise, whether you are new or whether you are a more veteran stamper like myself. It is just a great way to actually practice stamping a card that might not be in your comfort zone. I will say that today's card is actually a card, here I'm pulling it up right now, that is easy enough for everyone to do. So let's have a look at today's card. I love the layout. It's very simple. So in the background, you could maybe use designer series paper. You can stamp an image and then bring a greeting across or put ribbon across. It's just a great layout, a nice simple layout. And we have a sketch for that. Let me pull that up too. Let's see, here we go. I always endeavor to try and get these up ahead of time, but sometimes I forget. All right, here we go. So here is kind of the basic layout with the measurements on it in case you need help with that. Of course, you are welcome to tweak these measurements. You don't have to follow them exactly. The idea of this is just to take a card and look at it and try and reproduce it with the things that you have. And so even if you don't have the stamp set or the dies, you can just create your own card from this base layout. So let me hide these and come back to you. So why don't we jump in and let's pop over to my card for today. Kind of went really busy on my floral design. I kind of almost made my own designer series paper. I used that art gallery bloom, and I just took a piece of basic white and I stamped all over it. So I'll show you how I did that. And then I just took some same color cardstock to go across and some ribbon that matches. So it's a very easy design, but I want to show you how I put together this background. So I use the art gallery bundle, and the art gallery stamp set and the dies, they are carrying over into the new annual catalog, which will start in May. So they are not retiring, which is good because they are a good basic stamp set. I'll just pop those over there, and then okay, let's grab our first piece of cardstock. I want to make sure I have the right piece. Nope, this is the right piece. So I started with a piece of 3 3/4 by 4 3/4 piece of cardstock, and I want a little piece of scrap piece just to kind of protect my edges as I'm stamping them. There are 3 stamps that make up these florals. So when you're stamping them, you can do them in different ways. You can use 3 different colors, or you can use 2 different colors. Or you can use 1 color. It kind of just depends how you want to put it together. So I'll start off with these colors. We're going to use Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. And I like to start building my design from the top to the bottom. and kind of fill it in. So we'll start off, you know, it's easier to ignore these two to start off with and just kind of build your design first before filling everything in. So we'll put these just aside for a second, and we'll start just by stamping the basics and then do the two-step stamping afterwards. So I'm going to ink up the bold one. I find it's easier in this instance to use the bold stamp first. So I'm going to start up at the top here. And then I'm going to clean this off. I have my Stampin' Chamois sitting in a plastic case. This looks really gross, but this is the best way to clean off your stamps. If you don't already have one, get a stamp chamois. And I'm just going to clean that off, and it really takes the ink off nicely because you don't want to muddy your stamps, because if I were to stamp this now in my next color, some of the freesia would mesh with the pale papaya, and then the next time I go to stamp, it's not going to be a true color anymore. So we'll go next to the pale papaya and ink that up, and we're going to put this one's going to actually kind of come off the card, so it'll be off here. So I'm stamping pretty closely together, and I'm not kind of worrying about where things are going. And then let's grab the next color, which is Polished Pink. Now, Polished Pink, I'm using a lot of the 2021 to 2023 in colors. Polished Pink is a lot darker than Pale Papaya and Fresh Freesia. So we're going to stamp this one off once to kind of get a paler color. And we'll just kind of tuck this one right in here. Okay, so now you can kind of see I've got the same intensity of colors as my background. Each time I'm coming over here on my chamois and cleaning it off. And then we'll add another bloom. Let's see, let's add a freesia bloom down here. And then we'll fill in from there. So let's kind of go down in here with the freesia. Come back in with Pale Papaya. And we'll need to kind of just bring that over there. Clean, clean, clean. And then finally back to our Polished Pink. And with Polished Pink, we have to stamp off. So let's do that. Stamp off once, and then we'll bring it over onto here in that corner. And then stamp off. And then we'll bring it right into about here. All right. So now we've kind of got our basic stamp design for the card, and now we're going to come in a second time with the different stamp. This is the detail stamp, and I'm going to use Fresh Freesia full strength on here. So just by stamping it twice on top, you're going to darken the color of this a little bit. So you can kind of just see slight shading. You can notice the difference between this one and this one. So now, since I've already got this all stamped out, I can go ahead and just line this up. So I'm basically lining up this curve with this curve. It's not, this is like a very forgiving stamp because it's not exact. You know, you're not gonna get every little single piece exact. It's kind of just a nice sort of free-for-all. Okay, and then we're gonna come in. So for the second stamp on the pink, I actually didn't stamp off, but you know what? I think I'm actually gonna stamp off on that one too. So let's do that. On this one I didn't. I went full strength, but I don't know if it went a little too dark. So let's just add that. See, I think that's a little subtler. I learn, like every time I stamp something, I kind of learn and tweak. off, and then we'll come in here like that. Okay, clean this off, and then we'll do pale papaya. And pale papaya we can do full strength on top of here. It's really fun to just stamp a whole page of blooms because you don't have to get up from your desk to die cut anything. You're just like sitting right there and you're just like working with it. Okay, so now I've got my beautiful blooms on there, and what I did is I kind of tried to match up the inside colors with there, and I kind of debated like maybe I should have done like a green center. I don't know, what do you think? Should I do like maybe an evergreen center on all of the blooms? What do you think? Or should I match back with the colors like a purple on purple and mango on mango and polished pink on polished pink? You decide. I'm going to let you decide. I'll see if you leave me some responses. And in the meantime, I'm going to come in with my soft succulent and I'm going to add some leaves onto here. So I'm either going to do all evening evergreen centers on here, or we'll match the colors. So tell me if you want matching or green centers. We're going to do a slightly lighter color for the leaves. Now this stamp has this stem and leaf combo, so we don't have an individual leaf. So I wanted to kind of add a few little leaves peeking out. So what I did was I just inked this up on soft succulent and I kind of just dipped in some leaves, just kind of coming off the side like that. So, you know, just to add a little green pop. And so it's kind of, it's not a perfect world, but this is the way that I could do it with just stamping and creating this kind of design. I think we have one more spot where we can add a little leaf peeking out here, I think. My little piece of paper down here is getting pretty messed up. Okay, I think we've got, let's flip this over. We've got our piece almost completely stamped. We just need to add the centers now. So let me have a see. Okay, Mary says to match the colors. Teresa says match centers. Oh no, Kimberly, okay, good. We've got Kimberly Ann said green and Kristen said match back to the colors, my vote. So I've got 3 matching and 1 green. Oh no, I've got two greens. Oh no. Okay, so we've got, okay, and Mary says do what you did. Okay, so I'm gonna do matching because it looks like everyone wants me to match back. Okay, so we'll match back and we'll see what that looks like. You know what we could do? Just as an experimental thing. I've got another piece of, shall we do one on the side and just kind of see what it looks like with the green center? Okay, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna do it in freesia since I have this out. Okay, freesia. We're just doing an experimental one with the green since that wasn't our choice. Okay. Come in like this. And then this is our little center. And we'll try this with the green. We'll see what this looks like. So that's kind of interesting. It might be too dark. What if I did, I'm gonna do a pop of, this is pale papaya off the side. Do this. just to see what it looks like. You know, I was going to do this last night, but I ran out of time. So I just, okay. And then we'll come in with green. And we'll put that on there. Okay, so that's what the little green would look like. Now let's do them with the matching colors, and we can kind of have a little comparison there. Just because we can. All right, we'll put away pale papaya. We'll put away fresh freesia. And we're gonna come in with a couple of colors. Let me put this here. Okay, so this is cleaned off. We're gonna start off with polished pink, since polished pink is right here. And because I stamped off twice with polished pink, I'm gonna go full strength polished pink on here. So there we go. I don't know if I can get just a little bit off the side there. That one, just a little tiny bit. Okay, polished pink, you're done. Next up we have Mango Melody. So I went just a little bit darker with the Mango Melody. It's just a little darker than pale papaya, and let's put that on there. I've got a little smudge of pink on the edge of my thing. And ink this up, and right there. See, so pretty. Okay, and then finally we're gonna come in with Highland Heather. Stamp that right there. Stamp that right there. All right. Okay. So there is our piece, and this is kind of what it would have looked like if we had gone with kind of a darker color. So you could make things pop a little bit more. I think I like the fact when I did this polished pink bloom, I didn't do the second stamp in a stamped off. I kind of like how that one turned out, I think, a little bit more defined when I did it stamped off for the second stamp too. So I kind of like how that turned out. Okay, let's keep going on our card. So we need a card base, and I use soft succulent to match back to my green that I used. And this is 11 inches by 4 1/4 and scored in half at the 5.5 inch mark. We've got our bone folder, put it flat. We've got some glue, and I'm just going to adhere this to my card, and it's a little shorter on one end, kind of to harken back to the original card. There was a little bit more room on the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to need a piece that comes around here, right about maybe there. So we'll take this. This is also a piece of soft succulent, 4 1/4 by 3/4 inch. And we'll just add that across here. Just find, you know, the place where it looks good if you're stamping flower wise. Just kind of bring it across. Okay, and then we're going to bring in some soft succulent ribbon. And we'll bring this across. Okay, we're gonna need enough ribbon to kind of get across here and build a bow. So let's put this over here. Make sure it's flat on the inside. Okay, so we're gonna tie a knot, and we'll grab our locking tweezers, and we're gonna tie a bow. So let's go across. I hate tying bows on camera because I can get kind of finicky. And this one has to be a freehand bow. You can't use a bow maker unless you were to run it across and then just add a bow with a dimensional, which you could do as well. But you kind of have to just play with it and bring it in, back and forth. Okay, that is good, I think. All right, so let's grab my big paper snips and cut this off just a bit. All right, so sometimes when I tie a bow, the little ends, like one will end up at the top and one will end up at the bottom, which is fine, but if you want this little leg to end up on the same side, sometimes what I do is I bring it through the loop so both ends end up on the bottom. Okay, so that's a little better. And then you can just cut off the little ends on an angle. All right, okay, so now we just need to add this little greeting across here. And I wanted to use my mini cut and emboss machine today because there's just 2 days left to get the mini boss for 20% off. It's normally priced at $60 and right now it's only $48 up until March 31st, 2022. I love this now to keep it close by, and I like working with it with just doing like smaller die cuts. It's about, you can get die cuts fit up to about 3 1/4 inches across, and it's a lightweight, and it actually fits on my camera too. So I just need to create this label right here. So this is part of the bundle, and this is the die right here. So let's pop this open and let's grab out our plates. And I no longer use my white plate as my base plate because it didn't work very well for me, but this light gray plate does the job beautifully. It comes with your machine. Then you're going to need some cutting plates, 2 of them. That also come with your machine. So you get your machine and you can do everything with it because it comes with all the plates that you're going to need to start right out of the box. And we're going to run through just a little piece of basic white with one of the little labels. And we'll just run this through. Easy peasy. Okay. And I did not like my mini cut and emboss machine until I learned this little base plate trick. And so now, like, I'm really excited about it, so I'm showing it more often, especially because I don't want you to have to pay more for it. It is going up in costs in the new annual catalog that's coming up in May. We have some price increases coming up. And so not only you can get it as a discount right now, but in April it will be regular price, but in May it's going to be a couple dollars more. So just right now is the time to get it. If you're on the fence, or if you were thinking about getting it, get it now, because shipping is also going up in April. So there's so many reasons to get it now. All right, so then we've got our little greeting. And I just wanted to point out that this stamp set comes with a lot of great greetings, like I miss you, happy birthday, congratulations, good luck, sorry, thank you, best wishes, you are lovely, and I'm thinking of you. All really great greetings to use. And I've got my evergreen ink pad. I thought it would be good just to be a little bit darker on the greeting so we could see it. And I'm just going to center this on the label like that. close this up before I stick my fingers in it, and let's grab some mini dimensionals, and we'll just pop a few of these on the back. Okay, and then we'll bring this over, get rid of these little guys. Make sure they don't stick to me afterwards. Sometimes find these stuck to me as I walk through the house. Okay, and then I'll just put this right on top of the ribbon, coming across here, like that. Got little happy birthday, and then brass butterflies are really cute to add to the card. I'll use one of the big ones, and you know, you can decide. On this card there was a nice big space here. Well, this space is a little smaller, so how about we put this one up here, kind of in an open space, and this one I'm gonna put back over to the happy birthday on the side here, just to kind of draw attention back around to there. These are really cute, and one thing I like about these ones compared to other embellishments we've had in the past is they're very thin. We've had some embellishments that have been a little too thick in the shape department, and these ones are really thin, and these are also carrying over into the annual catalog, and I think that's probably why people like these like thin little embellishments, and they pick up the light really nicely. You know, on the card, they're going to be a little flash of light. The other thing you can do with this, and I did this yesterday, so you can take your Wink of Stella, and what I would do is just give it a little shake, and I would make sure it's going. Don't ever squeeze your Wink of Stella over top of your card, because it will it might blotch out. Sometimes it does that. And I'm just going to go over the flower centers a little bit. All right. And that's going to add a little bit of shine to the card too. I don't know if you can see it so much, but okay, maybe down at that bottom one a little bit, you can kind of see it will pick up the light a little bit. So you can just do that and just add a little shine to your card. It's really hard to see that on camera, but it does make a difference when you get the card in person. So one last thing that you can do to make your card pop a little bit is to create just a little bloom on the inside. So to do that, we'll start off with, we're going to do, we're going to do soft succulent. We'll do a soft succulent stem. Need a scrap piece. Just bring this in. Now we can see the full stem. Just bring it over like that. And then you can choose whatever color you want. Let's do fresh freesia. Earlier I did a polished pink, but let's do fresh freesia. Just make sure my stamp is clean. Fresh freesia on fresh freesia. There we go. Clean off this one. And add that on there. And then, where is, oh, I put them underneath. Highland Heather for the center. Clean this off. Pop Highland Heather in the center like that. And then we can add this to the inside of the card base. So this just kind of ties in the inside and finishes it off. And then I'll center it. like that. So, you know, you can do it in whatever color combo you like. So I really like how I stamped this blossom versus how I stamped this one. So that's kind of a good thing to note. Stamp off twice on that second stamping, and I think it makes your flower match the rest of the flowers a little bit better. The reason I did that with the polished pink is we don't have a really great match with the pinks, with the light pinks, to start off with. Otherwise, I might have just used the polished pink for the center and a lighter pink for the base. But currently, our lighter pinks have a lot of yellow in them, and so it wasn't really a good match for what I wanted to do. So that is how I stamped the card, and you can see how I created these as I stamped this as if it was like designer series paper. But if you wanted to turn this into a quick card, pick a pretty piece of designer paper and cut it to this dimension. So it was a 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Put a piece of cardstock across, a greeting, and you could save yourself a lot of time. But if you do it this way, you can create florals in whatever color scheme you want. I suggest if you're going to do this, choose 3 colors because that provides a nice contrast between colors, and it doesn't overwhelm it like with 5 colors, but 3 colors seems to be good in terms of just kind of building like a really bright pop of bloom of colors right there. So I hope you like that card. I'm going to come back over to everyone and say hello. So this month, there's a good reason to order if there's still things on your wish list. We have the last chance sale going on right now, and there's a lot of products on this sale that are retiring, and they are up to 50% off their original price, and our shipping is going up April 1st, so we have 2 days left to take advantage of the sale, plus not pay the higher shipping rate. Now, those last chance products, they are available until supplies last or while supplies last, but they will officially be retired after April. So if they last all of April, then that will be the cutoff and you won't be able to get the products anymore. Some of them will definitely sell out because some of them have already sold out, namely our in color products. Some of them are already sold out. So take a look at that list. If you click over to my blog, then you can see there's a link directly onto the sale page in the store, and you can take a look at what is still available and what is on sale. And I like to reward you if you shop with me. And if you, for every $50 you spend this month, you're going to get a package of my 6x6 designer series paper. I've got some samples here. They're all different. I've got lots of different paper. When my paper retires, I cut it up into 6x6, whatever's left over, and I package it up in cellophane bags. I take whatever's like the original backing and I put that with it as well, so you know when you get your pack what you're getting. And so 6x6 is kind of a fun size to work with because I do have some 6x6 projects. If you search for 6x6 on my blog, you'll see a bunch of them that I've done in the past. And they're also a nice size to work with for cards because they're already cut up. You don't feel like you're cutting up into a big piece of 12 by 12. So I've had some people that are going to get lots of packs of paper this month because I take your total for the month if you've ordered twice and your total ends up to be like $100, like maybe you ordered $30 once and $70 the second time. I'm going to take that full total for the month, and you're going to get 2 packs if you spend over $100. And those will be mailed out in April for you. So that's kind of a fun gift. And you're also going to get one of my free with purchase tutorials, just as long as you're I can't speak. Just as long as you're spending at least $15, you're going to get one of my free with purchase tutorials. And if you earn the paper, you can also get one of my tutorials. You get both of those things from me. Okay, let's have a look. I think I've talked about everything. The supply list is down below, or it's on my blog. So if you need to know any of the supplies I used today, you can find them there. I'm going to go look through your comments and say hello to everyone. Good morning, Martha from Florida, where it is 65 and a bit chilly. Now, Martha, we're going to have to talk about what is actually chilly. That's not chilly. That's like a balmy day in March for people in Massachusetts. This morning it was below 32 degrees. In fact, I work on the Celsius scale, so I can tell you it was -8 Celsius, which I don't know what it translates to in Fahrenheit, because frankly, I can't deal with the Fahrenheit numbers. Once they go below freezing, it just confuses me, because in the Celsius scale, freezing is 0. It makes a lot of sense to me. And so I've managed pretty well when temperatures are above freezing in Fahrenheit, but when it goes below. Anyway, it was cold. It was so cold this morning, and there was a wind. I mean, the wind chill probably made it feel even colder. And my husband, we were walking, and he's like, my cheeks are frozen. And I said, like, put up your hood, because the wind was coming in on the side of his face, and so he wore his hood the rest of the way, and we were fine. I mean, it really wasn't that bad. We're only out there for about 40 minutes. It's not going to make or break us, but it feels good to get out there. But at the same time, it's like when you walk outside, it's kind of like jumping into a pool of cold water. You're like, no. All right, I digress. Okay, Janine also has cold, and you have a gloomy Indiana. I'm sorry, Janine. We have sunshine here. I hope the sunshine comes back later today for you. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Cindy from Everett, Washington. Just waking and having coffee. Yes, you are a different time zone than us. Good morning, Amy. I'm glad to see you here. I hope you're feeling better. Amy's in Deer Park, Washington. Good morning, Kristen from Colorado. And thank you for saying that the card has pretty colors. So, okay, we've got I'm going to bypass when I ask you what you wanted for floral centers. Good morning, Betty. Good morning, Ellie. Thank you for sharing, Betty. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you for your feedback on the green centers. Sometimes I don't know how things are going to turn out. So I like to experiment, because you just never know what is going to go on when you're stamping. You don't know what's going to make you happy. So you just you have to experiment sometimes. And I think you can't be afraid to experiment, because it's just paper. It's not like it's a big canvas that you spend a lot of money on. It's like a pack of cardstock, a piece of the pack of the cardstock that you bought. So that's one of the things I love about card making, is it's not like as much investment into each individual project. You can make lots of cards, lots of projects, and you can mail them off, and it's such a great hobby. So don't be afraid to experiment, and I'm so glad that you helped me choose what my card centers are going to be. Thank you so much. Kristen said, what a fun ribbon holder. Well, thank you. So I got my ribbon holder. This is from stampyboxes.com. And I just have one. I was kind of experimenting with it, and I decided, wouldn't this be great to have all my in color ribbons in here? And you can see this. I have loved this ribbon so much that I bought multiple rolls of it, and thankfully this ribbon is carrying over into the annual catalog, so we'll get to use it another year. So I've got my full roll of evergreen, which I haven't opened yet, and I've got two of the soft succulents. My pale papaya is almost out. Oh, did you know that pale papaya is really easy to color with Stampin' Blends? So I really love that color because it's kind of like a base color, and you can make it into almost any color that you have Stampin' Blends for. So yes, if you like this, stampyboxes.com makes this cute little ribbon holder, and it's just really nice and cute. And I like to keep my in color in this one. I might get another one for my other most used ribbon, but this one right now is the ribbons that I use the most, so it's kind of fun, and you can just kind of pull it out. Yes. All right. Janine says her mini will be there on Thursday, and she's really excited to try it. I hope you love yours as much as you love mine. Is this stamp set being carried over? Yes, Art Gallery and the matching dies are being carried over into the new annual catalog, so I'm very excited about that. Thank you, Kimberly Ann. I'm glad you think it's pretty. Hello, Alice from Indiana, and thank you for sharing the video. Kristen says she loves the shine, and I'm thinking you're probably referring either to the wink of Stella or the butterflies. Oh, probably the wink. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Thank you, Martha, for saying my card's pretty. Mary says, saying 65 in March is chilly to a New Englander is funny. Coming from a Northeast transplant South Carolinian who thinks 65 is close to chilly. Yeah, it's so weird how your perspective changes. We lived in Tennessee for 12 years, and it was really hard to move to New England. I tell you, that first winter I suffered a lot to adapt. I think I've probably adapted now to the whole being really cold in winter, but it's been a process. Once you've lived in an area where you've got pretty nice weather all year round, it's really hard to go back to cold. Kimberly Ann says it's 10 degrees in Northern Ontario today. So it's 10 degrees Celsius because Canadians use Celsius. So that is cold. And I don't know. Oh, it's what? 10 degrees in Northern Ontario. Is that Celsius? Now I'm so confused. So if it's 10 degrees Fahrenheit, then it would be warm. It would be cold, and if it's 10 degrees Celsius, it would be warm. So I don't know if you're converting for me. Oh, you converted it. Okay, yes, that makes sense. See, it gets kind of convoluted in my head, like all the different numbers. It's really hard working in both systems. Nalita says it's 77 in Puerto Rico. I love that. Nice and warm for you today, but not really hot either. Mary says, I'm getting ready to order the embossing machine. Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad you're going to order it before the end of the month because you don't want to pay the new catalog price for it. I mean, yes, you do if you don't have it. If you're watching this video in June, yes, go ahead and get it. But it's nice if you're in March right now watching this video in real time and getting the mini boss for $48 instead of the regular price $60. And we only have 2 days left. Okay. Ellie said it warmed up to 24 this morning. That doesn't sound too warm, Ellie. Mary says, New England winters could not do it again. Yeah, you'd be surprised what you do when you have to, right? I moved, my husband's job changed, so we moved up here So I've lived in a few different places, and it's good though. It's good to live in different places because your brain adapts a lot more easily. The more you move, I feel for those military families that have to move all the time. They must be very adaptable though. All right. Oh, well, thank you for the conversion, Kimberly, and Fahrenheit. So -12 Celsius. That's cold. Yeah, that's definitely colder than it was here this morning. Mine was -8 Celsius, but the wind was blowing this morning, so I'm sure we were down below -10 with the wind chill. Not pleasant at all. And my space heater is still going. I've got my down vest on. I am get cold really easily, so summer is coming. It is, and I hope it comes quickly for all of us. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day. Join me on Friday when we're going to have, I guess, is Friday April 1st? Is it April Fool's Day on Friday? No. Yes. April Fool's Day will be on Friday. So I have no idea what I'm going to do yet for my Friday video, but it will probably be good. It will either be a 3D or a fanciful card. So I hope you join me for that. I go live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over on YouTube on Friday, so please join me there. Don't forget about the sale that's going on right now. Shipping is going up in April, so if you have any last minute orders before the shipping price increases, do that now and get the mini boss before it goes up April 1st as well. All right, everyone, have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.